Friends, today's NRI Samai program from Los Angeles brought to you commercial free by listeners like you. Your generous donations make possible for us to stay commercial free, and today's show is pre-recorded. If you have a question for the guest, please send an email to nrisamai@gmail.com. We will follow up with the guest and find the answer for you. Thank you for your support.
Friends, welcome to NRI Samay. This is your host for today's show, Sri Hari Atluri. Today we are going to talk about the violence on our brothers and sisters from northeastern states and their potential solutions. It is unfortunate that northeasterners face discrimination in most parts of our country. No one in this world should feel discriminated or face violence just because they look a little different or they speak a little different. But that is exactly what is happening in our country, and especially in the capital city of our country, New Delhi. Today we have three guests to talk about on this topic. Mr. MP Bezbaruah, an officer of 1964 batch of the IAS, served as the Secretary of the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India from January 1997 to December 2001. He was also the chairman of Pacific Asia Travel Association, PATA. Presently, he is the honorary permanent representative of the WTO and also member of the advisory body of International Council of Tourism Partners. He has written many books on tourism and on the potential of the Northeast India for tourism. This year, he headed the Bezbaruah Committee to look into the solution to the violence against the people from northeastern states. The commission was appointed right after the murder of Tania Nido, and recently they have submitted their report. Then we'll talk to J.T. Tagam. Mr. Tagam was the former president of Arunachal Pradesh Students Union and now active as a student leader helping students from northeastern states in New Delhi. But before that, friends, we will talk to the mom of Tania Nido. As you may know, Tania Nido was brutally killed earlier this year in what is believed to be a racially motivated attack. Friends, we have with us a courageous mother, Marina Nido. Good evening, Miss Marina Nido. Welcome to NRI Samay. Madam, we understand it's a painful topic to talk about for you especially. But if you could speak on behalf of other mothers also whose children are facing either bullying or discrimination or violence because they are from northeastern states, what would you say?
This is us. My son has been killed because his look was different. It's totally, he's from Northeast. His look was different. He was not a businessman. He was not a politician. And he's from Northeast. Some section of mainland India people, they don't know the Northeast is also the part of India. So my son has been killed. So this, because of this, we have started some movement in ministry. We are very much, Northeast is very much part of India. But people of mainland, they don't understand. So the mindset should be changed. The narrow mindset should be changed. If it is continues to kill the Northeast people, the time is not so far. Anything can happen, even in the Northeast also.
Absolutely. And you talked about the movement. Can you please tell more about it?
I have personally appealed to the top leaders, prime ministers, home ministers, and all the top angels regarding this racial killing of Northeast people. Not only my son. My son will never come back again. But I don't want to see any mothers, any parents crying like me. So I started the movement like anti-Bezbaruah Committee they have formed, especially for the anti-racial act. this should be passed. And then I appeal to the government for some advertisement, no discrimination. And why the Northeast people are being killed in Delhi for no reasons. Northeast people, they are here in Delhi, the main thing is we don't have proper infrastructure development in Northeast for education sector, for medicals. So people, they come here in a capital for the medical treatment, for their further study. But if there's some section of people, they don't understand that we are also, Northeast also the part of India. They don't understand. So I have appealed the government, especially in university, in education minister, includes in the book like Northeast culture, Northeast food habits, Northeast ethics and all. If the children, if they study only about the Northeast, then only the people will understand Northeast also a part of India. And I hope that one day or other day, we Northeast people will show the mainland Indian, some section of people that we are also a part of India. And really, I want to show them.
Absolutely, madam. I was talking to Bezbaruah, and one of the things we mentioned was recently Prime Minister Narendra Singh Modi, when he was giving the speech, he talked about Sikkim's 100% organic farming, and he said the rest of the country should learn from it. So it's there is a lot of things that should be learned, highlighted. As you mentioned, I think including Northeastern culture in at the school level, I think it would be very good, because as Indians we should know about our country and all parts of it, not just some parts. So that's a very good thought. And you also talked about the anti-discrimination law. Can you please tell us what should, from your perspective, what should be there in that in such a kind of an act, anti-racial discrimination act? If you can tell your perspective, what should be in that act?
And actually, it is the lawmakers. Okay, the law should be very strict, and then those culprits, they should be punished very in a strict way. If they don't punish the culprit, the law they're taking very easy way. The police department, they are taking very easy way. If it is the law and this punishment is not strict, anybody can do a crime. Not Nido, Tania. There are many things are happening, especially in Delhi, in the capital of India, that rape systems are there, mothers are there, lots of abuse, and many things I have gone through, especially the girl child. They told me many things regarding these Northeast girls, how they have been insulted in the market, in the colleges, in the schools and all. So it's very, very important that they should include the Northeast in the books. And some like awareness campaign and like advertisement. These are very, very important points. Otherwise, the lakhs and lakhs of students are studying in Delhi. When they come back to their own state, they will be mentally abstract. Their mind will be remain. If they see the Delhi people or other mainland people working in Northeast, they may create some problem, and they might create problem in the future. So even they have dropped out the Nido Tania's murder case also in the court. The Nido Tania's case is documents, evidence enough for the police, enough for the law, enough for the court. But still they have dropped the murder charges, and all of them are the bailout. Only one is remain. If the law they don't take strict action, I don't think these things will be continued in future also.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I think at least in the cases that come outside, that they should take a strict action, something that will tell that they are serious about curbing this discrimination and the racial discrimination and the violence. So it's very important, as you said. But other than that, are you seeing this discrimination increasing, or are you seeing it's decreasing now?
That's what I can say. When I was a student also, I faced all these things in Delhi. If I create the problem, if I raise a voice, today my son might be safe. This is what I regret. And now, recently also, one Manipuri boy was virtually killed. Recently, it's continuous. They don't think that we are human beings. We cry. We have knocked the corner door of the top level officers. They say yes. But the people's mindset is no change. To change them, the law should be very, very strict. The punishment they should be given is very, very strict. Even in media should be very strong. Then only people will realize. Otherwise, I don't think if the punishment is not strict, they will realize. I don't think so.
Absolutely, madam. Yeah, absolutely. I think the law should be definitely strict, and they should also get, if there's going to be punishment, I think it should be immediate, as soon as possible, so that people understand that, it's not okay to go and do this kind of violence to other Indians especially.
Mm-hmm.
Madam, you were invited to the Bezbaruah Committee, but I understand you did not accept the invite, or you did not participate?
Actually, the thing is that if I raise a question or this point is good, this point is bad. So I thought that since I'm a mother of Nido Tania, whatever I say, the committee members, they may feel otherwise, or the ministry may feel otherwise, because you are challenging the point, you are the mother. So in the best way, I'm in the committee, but I've never participated. I told them that whatever the point, these all are genuine points you will pick up. So it's not necessary for me to present in the committee. I told them verbally, but they have informed me and they called me. And since I'm also having own office, and since also always deal with the human being, since I'm a wife of politician, also I hold an own big office. I'm looking after the women and child development in Arunachal Pradesh. I have to cover up 16 districts in Arunachal Pradesh, and I was busy also. But I'm always after this point, and then after the mother of Nido Tania, I really want to do do some moral support, or do some improvement, or do some act. I want to appeal government for the whole of country, not only for the Northeast. I really want to work, but I, so to say, no advice, and I'm not getting advice from others also. I'm a mother. I'm very busy in own way. So I need an advisor also, what I can do for the people of Northeast, and if I can do for the others, rest of the country also. I'm really envious, but the time factors, just it goes like that.
Absolutely. I think that's a very good thing that you did. And also, it's unfortunate nobody should face such a violence, and nobody should die because of racially motivated attacks. But since that happened, and if because of that, if a strong law comes into place, and if more people are saved, I think maybe that's a positive thing that we can all say that because of Nido Tania, that most of the other people are at least getting some safety. I think that would be a positive side.
Yes, yes.
Madam, I don't want to take too much of your time. I really appreciate you spending us this few minutes and giving a perspective from your side. So we really appreciate your time, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Bye.
Friends, NRI Samay is a non-profit independent alternate media from Los Angeles, USA, which brings positive stories from grassroots activists from all corners of India and across the world. Among others, we focus on stories of need for equality, inspiration, environment, health, and politics. NRI Samay does not rely on corporate funding, and thus our shows are commercial free. We only rely on your donations. Please consider donating to NRI Samay, and all donations are kept transparent on nrisamay.com.
Today we have with us MP Bezbaruah IAS officer. MP Bezbaruah is the head of MP Bezbaruah Committee. The 15-member committee was formed after the murder of Arunachal Pradesh youth Nido Tania in February of this year to suggest the remedial measures following a rise in the number of crimes against people from the northeastern states across the country. Sir, MP Bezbaruah, sir, welcome to NRI Samay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for accepting our request in a very short notice. We appreciate your time. I would like to begin with asking you, I understand you are from Shillong, so what is currently what is going on? What is the main purpose of this committee?
Oh no, the committee has already submitted its report. It was formed in February. The main purpose was to look at the concerns of the Northeast people living in various metropolitan areas of India or also in other cities. And we are to look at the rising number of incidents against them and to suggest measures how to deal with those incidents.
Hi.
And what we did was that this committee invited comments and suggestions from the people who are affected. And we met with a very large number of organizations, individuals, people from the Northeast, the universities. Altogether about 800 people we had discussions with. Then our main concern was to see, has it been increasing? Has there been an increase in the number of incidents involving the people from the Northeast? Second question was it directed against the Northeast people, or was it part of the regular, crime scenario of any place? Thirdly, what are the legal measures available to tackle such incidents? And fourthly, what needs to be done to improve them? So basically, we looked at these four areas.
I see. Excellent. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. What we found was that the overwhelming number of people we met felt that particularly in Delhi, the capital city, we did visit Bangalore, Pune, Mumbai, Chennai, and Hyderabad also. We found that the intensity was much less in those places than in Delhi. Maybe because the number of people from the Northeast were the largest in Delhi. And most of them felt that at some point of time, or that they did feel a little bit of sometimes humiliation, sometimes racial slurs, and sometimes going into overt acts of violence, or including rape and some murder, etc. So we did go into all that and then found that we found that these people, this impression was very strong that they did suffer some amount of problems because of the difference in culture, difference in ethnicity, difference in looks, etc. Then we looked at what can be done. Can these people be punished for doing all these things? And we looked at the available laws. And we did find that all the laws did not, there were various laws regarding racial act or creating enmity because of race or culture, etc., but did not fully cover all the concerns that the Northeast people had. Then we looked at, even if there is a law, it depends primarily on the law enforcement agencies, how strongly they can look at those incidents and prevent them. And we have made a lot of recommendations about improving the police administration in the metropolitan cities. We have made some recommendations regarding the laws also, but I would not like to talk about that now.
Right. I understand you have submitted your recommendations to the ministry, so you would like to not go into the much detail at this point.
Yeah, it is their property now. Ethically, it is not correct for me to talk about it. But I can tell you this is the format we had looked at. We did look at, there's a very big gap in understanding about the Northeast. And we have made a very large number of suggestions to create two-way channels for understanding, increasing understanding between Northeast and the rest of India, and the rest of India understanding the Northeast. We have looked at cultural exchanges. We have looked at educational measures for improving that understanding. We have looked at sports as a means, tourism as a means, media as a means of improving that relationship. We have also talked about how to reorient also these people from the Northeast who are coming out now. They are primarily coming out for search of jobs, and large number of them are students. The students have less problems than those people who are coming out for small jobs. So we thought that it is necessary for the government and other agencies also to acquaint them with the circumstances in which they will have to live and work, and sensitize them about the realities of living in a city. We have recommended some measures for that also. So broadly, this is what we have done, and we hope that if action is taken on many of them, things will improve, understanding will improve.
Yeah. Sir, the incident that occurred in February, which is Nido Tania's murder,
Yes.
it became a bigger news than, even though a lot of issues happened. Do you have a sense of why that particular incident has made such a big news and not the others?
No, it was a culmination, I think, of a feeling that was growing for a long time. And that became a very sentimental issue because he was a young boy, apparently innocent young boy who reacted to a particular situation, could not stand the racial tones, and that created a chord in the minds of people who had such feelings from earlier, but it was a culmination of a feeling that was growing for a long time.
I see. And you mentioned that you spoke to a number of people from different parts of the country, especially from the folks from the northeastern states. Could you give maybe an example of one of the incidents they have shared with you, so our listeners get an idea of what kind of discrimination we are talking about when we discuss this issue?
Mostly they were talking about, for example, Nido Tania's case. They were talking about some rape cases where the victims did not get sufficient help from any local authorities. And sometimes they alleged that the police first reaction was to say that the fault was with the victims. So these were the main concerns they had, but largest number of concerns were, racial type of comments and teasing, which they face in every sphere of their activity, and also discrimination they feel in hiring accommodation for rent. When they go, they are discriminated according to them because they are from the Northeast. They are charged more, and a lot of restrictions are put on their behavior. So these are the things that they most commonly brought before us.
I know it can be painful for some of the listeners, but can you tell us what are these racial comments like? Maybe an example, a couple of examples.
Most common things would be the chinky eyes sort of thing, and they have insinuation also sometimes indicating that because these boys and girls are a little more, liberal in their social behavior, sometimes they are misunderstood as being too free, and that's a problem they faced. And many of them work in the call centers. They come back late at night. Also, they are suspected of doing something which is not socially acceptable. These sort of things are very common experiences of the people from the Northeast.
I see. And I believe
even they will say that it is not proper to. So they are called sometimes cheap, vulgar, etc. Those comments are. These are what were brought before us. Yes.
Absolutely, sir. That's very shameful of the people who are behaving like that.
There's a cultural conflict. We found that most of these people look for cheap accommodation, and that's why they go to places where they can get it reasonably affordable accommodation. And these are the places where the social outlook has been quite traditional. They are not used to the liberal outlook of the people from the Northeast, and there's a cultural conflict there, and that is one of the major problems.
Yeah, also somebody coming from Northeastern state into New Delhi, and it's a very expensive place, so it's not easy to get into a posh area. So, but as far as your commission and your committee, and then your recommendations, what is your opinion about how serious the government is at this point? Do you think you think we'll see some kind of an act or something coming out of it? Because
I am sure there will be something, because there is a lot of pressure and a lot of commitment. The Prime Minister has spoken about the Northeast quite often. The new government have said they will do a lot of things, developmental, etc. So I think Northeast is in focus, and I am sure it will be looked into with seriousness. But what we primarily felt was that, police action will certainly, police action and laws, stringent laws, perhaps will take care of part of it. But we need a lot of efforts to create understanding about that region. That is major work which will continue. It is not a one-time thing. It will continue for a long time.
Yeah, it's not just putting a law in place, and you have maybe to use the social media and even the traditional media, and then.
Yes, we have suggested all that. The point that we are trying to make there was that India's entire socio-political, cultural, image is one of great diversity. India is proud of its diversity. And the Northeast is very diverse, and the difference in their ethnicity, difference in their culture should be a cause for celebration for the nation and not a cause for raising barriers.
Absolutely. You said it very well, sir. You're absolutely right, because I think Northeastern folks feel more discrimination than anybody else, but even the other places are also this discrimination has been there, even
Yes.
north versus
Yes.
south, and even between the states, and language barriers and these things. But definitely, I think it's the worst case scenario for North Asian folks because they are much far away from their homes in general from the rest of the country.
Actually, what hurts most, according to these boys and girls, is that they are very nationalist people, Northeast people. And if I go into the history, culture, you will see that they have been very much part of the mainstream, starting from the days of Mahabharata, Ramayana, and all that. But when they go to some museum, they will be asked to pay the fees that a foreigner has to pay because they look different. So that is where they feel very hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that will break anybody's heart because they love the country as much as anybody else. But then every time they are asked about, they are reminded about how they look or how they speak. Or
yes.
Sir, is there also a feeling that northeastern states have been deprived of the development with the rest of the country because that's one of the...
that has been a long-standing feeling, but not any longer, I suppose. Financially, Northeast is quite well looked after nowadays. But the problem remains that why so many people are coming out for small jobs. So we need to do a lot about actual development in those states so that income is generated, employment is generated, and people don't have to come out looking for small employment elsewhere. That is a big problem. It is a very big problem, but the question of neglect financially perhaps is not as strong as used to be earlier.
Absolutely. And, the committees, any committee, and then you submitted the report, and now they are going to look into it, and by the time the law passes, the time can pass a lot. But do you know of any measures that have been taken since, especially from February, maybe short-term measures or...
Well, there are two parts. Law, of course, will take, but there are a large number of other measures which can go on without any law. There are quite a lot of things have happened. In fact, even as we were meeting people in Mumbai, the police administration, they immediately took up some of our suggestions, like creating a helpline number and creating local forum for interaction with the local communities, police and the local administration interacting with Northeast communities. These sort of things have already started. Delhi police have already taken a large number of steps for creating a helpline, creating local forum for interaction with local communities. Things like that. Quite a lot of things have started already.
That's excellent. That's good to know about all the progress that's been made. And I have another question about one of the areas that the committee has researched. I read somewhere that you talked about the database of all the North Asian people.
Yes.
Is that? Could you expand what it is, sir?
You see, we found that we wanted to know from the police how many cases have involved Northeast people. Who are these people? What is their age profile? Are they young boys or are they students? Are they workers, etc.? Information is available, but it is not readily available. Similarly, we don't know how many people from each of the states are staying in Delhi or any other metropolitan cities. In Pune and some other places, they have tried to, and they have some database of the people who have come. But we wanted to expand it further. And so we thought that if we provide an opportunity for anyone coming to these places to register themselves, give their details, and also connect them through that database to the police helpline, to the local administration, so that from one point they can get all their information, they can get all their help, and they can be traced in case of any difficulty. So we have suggested a database which will be not only about the profile of the people, but also will link them to all the service providers, say for example, the people who provide services in Delhi. So they will have a link to the database, and then people can access all those services directly. We have a futuristic and wide-ranging look for the database, not just the names of people and their age, etc., but a center from where you can get one-stop sort of information as well as help.
I see. I think the UID, the unique IDs for people, these kind of, you don't think that's part of this one? You don't think
No, because UID, moreover, UID was also little this thing in the Northeast because of security and other problems, infiltration. But UID will be the first step sort of thing to give you an information and a database. But then this database will also link him. Supposing I am a person, I had some problems, I can ring up that particular number or SMS, or I can send an email, and immediately I will be linked to police helpline, to medical helpline and other helpline, whatever is needed. So we are thinking of that type of an assistance for the Northeast people.
Absolutely. And it's a large, yours is a 15-member committee, and certainly one of the very interesting person, the mother of the student who died, the student named Nido, Tania, his mother, Marina Nido, was also part of the committee, right, sir? How was your interaction with her?
No, she was made a member, but she thought that she should not be part of it. But there were some people on her behalf or on her recommendation from Arunachal Pradesh and Nagaland who were included. So actually she did not take part in these things.
I see. Were the student leaders like Mavio and Tagam?
They were there. They was there, and the Northeast India Forum Against Racism was very well represented all the time. We had another organization called Elena Golme. She was having a Northeast helpline. These were the, some of the organizations who were part of the committee, and then we had a lady advocate from Sikkim. And we had representatives from other states also. Excellent.
And now the General V.K. Singh is also looking after the Northeastern regions.
Yes.
So how is, have you spoken to him? Have you talked to him ever?
Yeah, the whole committee met him very briefly. But this was, committee had already, his government had come in and settled down by the time committee had finalized his report. Yeah. But we didn't meet him. And he said that he would be looking forward to the report.
Excellent. Sir, before we wrap up the show, do you have any message or anything you want to say to your listeners?
Yeah, our message of the committee was that we are not looking at, as I said, that the differences and varieties should be something for part of our life and should not be cause for discord. And the second thing we looked at the whole report was to integrate and not to, whole purpose is to integrate the whole country and the Northeast and not to create differences. We looked at from that point of view. And I believe the Northeast mosaic is so rich in culture and this thing. We are worried that these things, if they continue, will send very strong, wrong messages back home. And this region is already suffering from all those insurgent activities and sense of alienation. So it is a time for everyone to see that we stop that process of alienation and create that feeling of integration.
Absolutely. And I must mention that one of the interviews we have recently done was on Sikkim's organic farming. I think even Prime Minister Modi also mentioned the same in his first address to the Parliament. So I think the rest of the country also need to learn from northeastern states things like organic farming and several others.
And Nagaland has got an excellent system of community services, how the community looks after the entire services for the people. There are lovely examples.
Excellent. That is excellent. Maybe that's for another show with on the northeastern states. I really appreciate your time, sir. Thank you very much for going through this committee, and we really hope that this discrimination and the attacks on the northeastern people stops, because it's a shameful for our country, as you said, who is proud of the diversity.
Yes. Thank you. Let us hope for the best and look forward to a better time.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Friends, NRI Samay is a non-profit independent alternate media from Los Angeles, USA, which brings positive stories from grassroots activists from all corners of India and across the world. If you have any interesting episode you would like NRI Samay to cover, we will be happy to do so. NRI Samay would also like to encourage amateur journalists who have a flair for highlighting current events. You can be part of our citizen journalist team. You could cover an important event, interview victims of an atrocity, or document an inspirational story. The idea is to have a mix of experience throughout all parts of the world, preferably supported by an audio or a video clip of your story to be aired, which will be the curtain raiser. You can also submit your opinion articles on important topics to NRI Samay. We will be happy to put it on nrisamay.com in the opinion section. All your work will be credited only to you. And if you're interested, please send an email to nrisamay@gmail.com.
Friends, we have with us one of the leaders, student leaders of the northeastern folks. His name is Tagam. Tagam, welcome to NRI Samay.
Thank you.
Could you are part of the Bezbaruah Committee, and could you tell me, just give some perspective about what kind of discrimination happens for the students who come from northeastern states?
See, basically, the moment any northeastern comes to Delhi, the first thing they face is the racial abusement. Racially, people abuse us with certain derogatory terms like chinkies, momos. So this is the first impression whenever we come to Delhi. Okay. So apart from this, when a northeastern rents a room, so we have problem with the tenants. So the moment they see us, they arbitrarily increases the rent. Okay. So there will be no any proper agreement, no any written document. And whenever a landlord wishes to drove they can drove them away without any prior notice.
I see.
And this is the landlord part. And again, if you go to markets, so the moment they see the auto wala, they charge high. Even in the market, when they see a northeastern face, they charge the product high. So these all are racially based discrimination that every northeastern, every Mongolian-looking face in Delhi. Okay. So the other part, when we come to crimes and harassment, the people over here think that if they do anything to a northeastern guy or a girl, so they feel like these people cannot retaliate. They all have come from far-flung areas to Delhi. So how long they can take up a case, and will they able to retaliate? Will they able to fight against them?
Yeah.
So this is what we call a kind of what we call is inferior. No? They treat us a little bit inferior, and they feel like they are superior to us. So this is what I have felt in the past 7 years in Delhi.
I see. You personally experienced such kind of discrimination?
Yes, personally I have experienced. When I was a domicile student, the moment I became a leader, I didn't face such things much. But there are people who are very domicile, who are isolated. They are not in contact with the majority of the northeasterns. They are just busy with their own stuffs in Delhi. And these are the people who face a lot of things. and even those who are working in DPO sector or in service sectors, apart from government jobs.
I see. So how are these? You are the student leader. You are the former president of the Arunachal Students Union. So how do you connect to the people? Make sure you form like maybe a support group or help each other out. Is there any activities like that?
Yes, every student organization of Northeast conducts orientation program of freshers meet every year. Okay, so this is the program where we can meet the newcomers or the juniors, so that we can counsel them how to live in Delhi and how to move ahead with their own things. So, but basically what it started is that recently we all are working under Delhi Police. So we have a nodal officer. His name is Marina Nido. He is Joint Commissioner of Delhi Police. So he is our nodal officer and chief coordinator for all the Northeast folks in Delhi. Okay. So under him there are 47 students who work voluntarily for the Northeast people. See, we act as a mediator, between the culprit and the victims. Usually most of the Northeastern victims, they cannot speak English or proper Hindi.
Yeah.
No. So we act as a bridge between the police, between the culprit, and we help them. And we are trying to disseminate all the initiatives that have been taken up by Delhi Police to our brothers and sisters from Northeast through Facebook media, WhatsApp, social sites, anywhere.
I see. So you were mentioning about the Deputy Commissioner Robin Hibu. He's very reachable, right? Is he very helpful?
Yeah, he is very accessible. Yeah. He is 24/7. He is in touch with us. And everybody can contact him either through phone, WhatsApp, or email.
I see. Wow. You can also do a WhatsApp and he responds?
Yes. We are synced. Robin Hibu sir, as he is our chief coordinator, right. So we are always synced 24/7 in WhatsApp. So if anything happens to any of our Northeastern guy, if it is a thief, if it is a harassment, automatically we get the message.
I see.
All the representatives and even any elders, those who are in Delhi.
I see.
Yeah.
And you were mentioning about the violence towards the students or working people. Can you give maybe an example? We obviously heard of
the violence is
Tania Nido. He was murdered, Tania Nido. But any other incidents happened since then? Maybe you can give an example of something. Maybe not that horrific, but something that you came across.
Kind of a murder case or some kind of harassment?
Yeah, I just want, we know about the murder case, the Tania Nido murder case, but I want our listeners to get some context. So if you can give maybe another example, that will...
Okay. Apart from it, before in 2012, I think it was in 2013, there was another death case in Chirag, Delhi. So this year there are, I think, recently there were around two death cases from Nagaland, Nagas from Manipur. So last year there was a death case in Chirag, Delhi, which is very mysterious. Nobody knows how did the girl die. But we suspect sexual harassment and murder. But the police and the people denied it's what they call accidental or kind of normal death. So this is the case. Even sometimes what I would say is that there are a lot of death cases which are done by the people over here, but most of the Delhi police assume the case as an accidental or incidental.
I see.
Such is the thing. So many people have lost the faith in Delhi police also because of these things. Okay, they never file a case as a murder. They either say it is a normal death, accidental, incidental, something like that. So when I talk about the workplace, the foremost thing what we got to hear, even I have been when I've attended some what we call problems, some calls which occur from some kind of call centers. There is the first one is the non-payment of salary. Okay, they will get the work done, but they will not pay the salary to the Northeastern workers. And the second part is the sexual harassment at workplace. Many of the female workers, they have faced the sexual abuse, and many of their bosses trying to, humiliate them, deceive them. So this is two things that I have seen in the BPO sector.
I see.
Or either they will pay underwage. They ask the guy to work more, but they will pay less.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. And Delhi is a very expensive place to live also. So
yes, expensive place.
I mean, the sexual harassment and this kind of issues happen across the country and probably across the world. But you are saying that for northeastern girls, it's even more significant.
Yeah, significantly they are getting more harassment. Because I think, there is a pre-assumption, there is kind of what the mindset within the people of, I don't know, India, that our girls are easygoing,
Yeah.
They feel like if they try them, it's very easy. We will get everything, whatever we want. So this is the wrong mindset within the people of India.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate. From your perspective, what is the major change that needs to occur?
Major changes?
Yeah, from law and order perspective or from education perspective, what needs to change for the situation to get better?
Since I'm in Delhi since 2008, so what I've seen is that in earlier days we were not so united. Okay, every day things happens, but only the respective student organizations do the education. But recently, since the Tania case, we all come together. So if anything happens to any of the northeastern fellow guys, we retaliate in a proper way, in a strong way. Okay, but I must also appreciate Delhi police because they have come up. They are very sensitive towards the northeastern cases these days. Though FIR is lodged or not, but they will attain any northeast case in 5 or 10 minutes. The sensitiveness of Delhi police has increased towards northeastern cases.
Any particular reason for that?
There is a couple of reasons because we are keep on. You can see, MHA, Ministry of Home Affairs, I think in 2012 has come up with a standing order procedure. This is called zero tolerance towards northeastern cases.
I see.
So under which our Robin sir has been appointed as a nodal officer, as a chief coordinator for Delhi police and northeastern people. So this SOP is not what we call mandatory order, but it has become a regulation for all the Delhi police, which they are following. So according to it, I think what I've seen now, Delhi police is much sensitized. But still we are sensitizing the Delhi police. But in comparison to the past year, they are quite proactive now. That's
a positive news at least.
Yeah, that's a positive. But still people lack trust because there is a preassumption within the Delhi police officers also. If anything happens to a northeastern guy, they associate it with alcoholic, drink, party, and this and that, drugs. So this is the wrong presumption which we are getting from Delhi police officers.
Yeah. You are part of the Bezbaruah Committee. Are you satisfied with the committee, how they met and then the research they have done?
I'm quite satisfied with whatever we have come out with. Okay. But the problem right now, what the problem persists is the recommendation that we have submitted. It's almost 2 weeks now. Nothing is coming up. Nothing is being done. We are a little bit surprised how government of India is going to come up with these points, because none of our points have been what we call seriously implemented. Our recommendations have been divided into 3 parts: which is short-term, immediate, short-term, and long-term.
I see.
Now forget about short-term and immediate term, but at least we want to see the immediate terms, immediate initiatives they are trying to do.
I see.
So there is kind of lackadaisical attitude because our committee was formed by Congress government, and now it is being followed by the BJP government. So I don't know how far successfully our recommendation can be implemented. Because I feel, we have very genuinely, we have 1,000 people across the country, all the 4 metro cities, and we have collected all the points, all the suggestions, the legal remedies, all the problems. But if out of 100%, even if 50% of our recommendations are implemented, I feel like 90% of our problem will be solved in India.
Excellent.
Especially in metro cities.
So once you submit the committee report, is there any plan to meet with the government?
No, we have already submitted. We have already submitted.
Right. Now that you submitted, is there a plan to meet with the government, the ministry in charge, or somebody as a follow-up, or do you just have to wait for them?
Currently, we have submitted a report to Ministry of Home Affairs. Okay, so the current MOS Home Affairs is from Arunachal, Mr. Kiran Rijiju. So I'm trying my best to contact him.
Yeah.
That what is the current status of our report?
Yeah.
But I'm not getting proper response till now because I don't know. They are scrutinizing the points, I think.
Yeah, our generally the governments are known for moving slow, but I think just because you are a student leader, I think you should probably put some more pressure just by gathering some number of people. And
I feel like now the people have started asking about it, asking about the reports. No, actually we were about to submit our report within 2 months, but because of the election, it was extended to 4 months. And now after 4 months, we have submitted a report, and I don't know how long it will take to implement the recommendations. So now I've seen in social sites where the people have started asking about this report. You know, what the government of India is doing. If they still delay in implementing, I think some kind of agitation may come out. This is what I feel.
Yeah. I mean, the goal is for the government to take some action so that the people of northeastern states are a little safer than what it is right now. Okay, I appreciate your time and going through all these things. Before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to say?
See, what I can see to my fellow countrymen, that let us live in this country together. Let us not distinguish, not differentiate us with our looks. You know, we all are equally, since from our childhood, we know that we are Indian and we are one of the citizens of this country. So I feel we also live together in this country. So this is my message to all my fellow countrymen.
Absolutely. I think that's a wonderful message to end the show. And I again thank you very much, Tagam.
Welcome.
Okay, bye.
Thanks.
Friends, if you liked today's show, please go to youtube.com/NRI Samay and click on the subscribe button. You will get notified every time we publish a new show. And you can also like us on our social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Google+.